Hi, this is Angie Smith. This is for Instructional Technology 6355. Um, I decided to do my final e-learning presentation on the Moodle site. I thought that this site we used for class was just fantastic. And when we designed our own, I really felt like I understood how to do it. It was simple and easy to use. And so, as far as most people, I might say that a little bit ignorantly, but I would say most people are not super technologically savvy. And so something as simple as the Moodle design might be what would be best for not only those who are unfamiliar with computers, but even students as they try to use it and implement it into their learning styles. So just going to do the basics. Here you type in, you go to Moodle, type in your Moodle site. You come to home and you can make your own courses. Now, of course, you have to log in. So you're registered to work within the Moodle site. Log in. Then you can kind of start adding as you please. Start logging in. There will be a site. So I'll go ahead and log in here. Well, let's see. I think I didn't do that right. Let me do that again. It's hard to remember which password for which site. So if you log in, all right. Now, of course, this is a little different because this is from your site, Doug. Go into whatever class you have suggested, or if you haven't, there's a place where you can edit. Okay, you can request new course, view all of your blog entries, and you can kind of add your own little bit. So we're going to kind of go to where I have started. I did my little Moodle project. Okay, so of course, if you haven't started your own homepage, basically, this would be completely empty, and you'd have to design your own page, how you'd like it to look, and things like that. Now, once you're logged in, you have your own option up here to turn editing on. So that means you can kind of work with your page. Now, the nice thing about this, contrary, as opposed to, say, doing a blog, this is very private. You basically are in charge of your own stuff, and you know who is looking at it. You've given permission to certain people to look at it, whereas a blog, basically anyone can look at yours, and it's not as private. So we go here. Now, this is a topic that I've chosen, and there's simple pictures that go along with your editing strategies. As you can tell there, it says, if you want to edit, you can do that. Now, when you're editing, you can do this. You can add a resource, add a file, folder, label, page, URL, and these can all just be either from your desktop PC or URL that you found online, and you can just you can add it in. So, and it kind of allows you to choose what you'd like to do with this resource. You can make a quiz, start a lesson, even do a survey. So it's really quite nice. Now there's also signs here, and it tells you kind of that you've selected it. It underlines it for you. Now these little signs, you move it up and down within your lesson, and that's great. You can edit this particular assignment, delete it. You can hide this from the students if you don't want to distract them, if you don't want them to see the whole idea, and you just want them to see one assignment at a time, you can hide the others. And then this part is for assigned roles. If certain people have particular assignments they need to do within the particular assignment, then that's where you can do that. News forum. You can give out assignments, announcements, things like that. And you can also integrate YouTube videos. And that would be something that you'd find here in the URL. Or you'd implement using the URL. And then, not only that, it also shows here on the side, this is great. After you've made a couple of these lessons, you can actually search individually within all of your forums that you may have done in a particular order. You can search. So I'm doing density, and I chose to kind of break density down, and students needed to learn about mass and volume first. This is kind of just an introduction sentence. Now this arrow shows that maybe if this is out of place, this form right here is out of place, and maybe you wanted to teach them the basics about density first, you can move this. You can also move, with other lesson plans and lessons within the Moodle. So here, let's say you just want them to see this density. Maybe you're doing it a week at a time. You don't want them to see every single week that they have. You want to just see, like, let's say this is the first week, and you only want them to see the first week. Well, you can hide certain weeks. Show only week 1, and then this is, so show only week 2, and all those things. Now the great part about Moodle that I like is it's very easy to add parts to it that people can provide feedback. Maybe it's a great place you can look if people have questions about what you're doing, if students are having difficulty with a certain concept that you're trying to teach. It's great. Also, you can edit your settings. Let's go into that. All right, great. What your course's name, the basic titles of your course, and your course summary. Okay, very easy to use. You can put filters on it so certain people can see it. Okay. So you can turn on and off certain settings. Okay. Maybe you want to turn spell check on, things like that. That was where you would do that. Okay, so let's go back to my density lesson. Great. You can add latest news. My favorite part about the class here is it will tell you the upcoming events. You can have this option to show it or not. You can choose to hide this box or keep it there, and that's what you can do with each of these boxes. Recent activity, show you your last time you used this, and add a block. Okay. You can add blocks to all these kind of things, blog tags, calendars, comments. So you can add these little blocks here. Okay. These are called blocks. You can put one up there for quiz results. So you could, on the side here, you can see all your quiz results, which is actually pretty nice to have your grades kind of reminding you of your improvement or need for improvement on the side here. So I liked the calendar, and there's recent activity, and there was upcoming events to remind you kind of the assignments that we're going to be due within that week. I thought it was a very, very useful e-learning tool. And I think it would be great. It's wonderful for the students to kind of go through it in a fashion that is suitable for them, in a speed that's understandable, and they can kind of almost move around in it however they'd please and kind of learn in whatever steps they'd like to learn it. Of course, you'd want them to follow your your particular steps so they get the basics down. But, some students it's easier to use inference and to do things in their own way. And then it also gives them the feel of ownership of what they're learning, which we all like to own our knowledge and our learning. And then once you're done editing, turn editing off. Okay, and there you have it. Kind of set in stone. Nobody else can fix it. Nobody can change it. You're the only editor. And that's what we have for our the Moodle e-learning activity. Thank you.